Have you ever thought about entering a photo contest? Here's why it's possibly the best thing to do as a beginner photographer. Plus I'll share my experiences of actually being in a photo contest as well, as I've been in two so far in my photography career. And so with the first time I've actually entered in a photo contest, I actually did not win at all. I didn't win any simple thing, even though I entered in about 21 photos, I believe, and I've actually got a few. So there's actually a whole bunch of these, so I'm not going to show every single one of them, but I'll just share the ones I like the most. So you got this one as well, which is from the city, I believe, and you got a few from the band, from like bands and stuff as well, actually added in. So this will be probably about 2 years ago, probably. Just gonna make sure to actually add in stuff. So yeah, you've got a bunch of things like this, for example, and then you've got a bunch like this, which is just Kerala. And so like yeah, it's a. So with photo contest, I feel like as a beginner photographer, it is a great experience, especially as when I started, I didn't do photo contests. I thought it would be a bad thing for me to do because I just feel embarrassed for even submitting my photos in, which gladly I didn't because my photos weren't really that good. The best thing for beginner photographers actually entering a photo contest is actually just the experience and actually be able to connect with like-minded people, which you can do, but at this time of recording at that photo contest, I didn't really connect with many as it was quite far down the coast, as there's not many photo contests up where I am that I know of, obviously. But the best thing that I found with photo contests is actually just the learning experiences of how people display them and actually how to see other people's photos and actually get some ideas as well. Throughout the contest as well, I gained a lot of like new styles I actually never thought of doing, or either just like gaining new photo ideas, which is possibly the best thing that you actually want to be doing, which I did not. It was my first time doing it, so I just kind of saw whatever. I just saw the photos and just went, okay, I would just have to get a bit more better next time, as I didn't win anything. I didn't, even though I submitted 21 photos, none of them won. So that's like, it was kind of like a punch of the gut towards me, which I took it as like a bit of a win. I was like, okay, I'll take it as a bit of a win because now I can just come back and actually get a bit more better, rather than taking it as a loss, because once you take it as a loss with photo contests, because some of them are serious, some of them are not, whereas this one was a bit small, was to literally be able to, I guess, get clarity in terms of what my styles are, and in terms of what the judges thought of it, because I think they did say some thoughts of it as well. And you actually have to put in like names on them as well. Like, so with this photo contest, you actually have to put them in the back, which I found a bit more struggling, because I do remember I actually struggled with the names of them, so I had to get my family members to actually come up with the ideas of them, because I was quite like, I guess I didn't really know what name to put on them. The big thing for photo contest is the self-reflection part. Contests make you reflect on your own work and actually be able to give you a new, like, it would be able to make you think about which one actually stands out the most, which most of these for me stand out the most, but in terms of the other judges, they don't know who I am, and I just submitted all these other ones and they go, okay, this is quite cool, but let's see how the details are, let's see what the type of photos we actually like, and see how we rate them out of 1 to 10. It actually makes you think about how you take your photos, and think about how the angle is, think about all the other different ideas that you have in terms of that photo that you just took just once, and it actually really makes you think about your skills a whole lot more, which is also another thing. And from the first photo contest, I actually gained a lot of skills and actually redefined my own skills from those photos and that I took, and so I actually tried to become a bit more smarter with my photos, and rather than just taking photos and just going like, yeah, that's it, there, bang, okay, like the most basic photo you just take from that. I actually need to use my own environment and see what's around me, and seeing what actually, can be actually used towards my photos, rather than just taking photos without even using the whole entire environment around me, which I think most beginner photographers actually miss out on. They miss out on actually using the environment around them to actually make the photo, like shooting through objects. You can use leaves and stuff if you're around the bush. You can use the trees and be able to shoot a shot and actually pan out towards the subject towards the left. But the one key thing I think most beginner photographers actually don't want to be doing is actually learning from their own mistakes. They make their own mistakes as if it's like a big failure, like as if the whole entire world is watching them, when literally the other person that is watching your own mistakes is actually you, and possibly the people around you if they even pay attention to you. Those mistakes are actually learning opportunities for you to actually make. Like, those are learning opportunities for you to actually build evidence on, and then that way you can actually get better overall. Because if you've got no evidence in terms of the mistakes you've made, then how are you going to get better? You're just going to stay the exact same place, because if you just stay in the exact same place, you won't be able to grow. Whereas for most people like me, I was like this, and then I came like that, and then that, and then that, and then that. It's like that. It's like a little like stock market graph. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. Because that's how it is in terms of anything in life. It goes up and down. It's never just like that, and then you go up. It's always. So when I actually submitted those 21 photos and I saw all those other photos, I compared myself towards them a little bit. I was like, these photos are actually really cool. I don't know how they got them. And then I tend to compare my photos towards them. I was like, how have they won when literally my photo's better and stuff? I got this massive ego a bit when I was back then. But the thing is, I actually had to learn from those photo styles and actually learned about, hey, don't compare your style towards them, because they could have their own unfair advantage, whereas you're up here, you're in the city, and you've got plenty of options. You've got public transport, you've got your camera, you've got your gear, you've got, you know, your brain and all sorts. You've got those unfair advantages where, well, I think, well, actually no, most people have a brain, so that's not really unfair advantage, but it's how you use your brain. Never compare yourself towards other photographers, especially the big ones that you see online. Peter McKinnon, North Borders head person, the ones I always mention, because I do compare myself towards most of them sometimes, but the big thing with beginner photographers, do not compare yourself towards other people that are in your photo contests. Never do that, because you don't know where they've come from, you don't know about them, stuff like that. You just gotta surround yourself with the right people, and just don't compare yourself towards them, and just focus on your lane as if you're running in a 100-meter sprint. You don't go on someone else's lane and then block them. You just have to go on your own lane and just focus on yourself. And so the big thing I think for photo contests is actually either if you win or lose, you gain something. You gain a new idea. You've actually learned something from that photo contest, and hey, and you've actually learned about your own photos as well. You've actually learnt about something, and you've actually submitted something in. Either if it's like good feedback or either bad feedback. It doesn't matter. You get that feedback, you absorb it how you want to. You just come back better and better. Either way, with photo contests, that's how I did it. And so the second time I went to a photo contest, I actually submitted a bit more or less, which I'll show you on screen. The second time I went to a photo contest, I actually won one. And then I got 2 appreciation awards or something like that, which I'll show you on screen, or either it's part of the thumbnail as well. And so with the one that actually won, it was a black and white landscape or portrait, and that's possibly the most hardest one, is what I got told. It was like the most hardest category to win in, which I was quite proud of. And also the photo was beautiful as well. I took that and people were like, "Did you shot that on a drone?" I'm like, no, it wasn't that high up. I don't even have a drone here. I will buy one shortly, but black and white one was the most submitted one, and so I actually won that, and I actually came first, and I got that photo. And I've actually got that photo, which I'll show you. And then the other 2 was the yellow car, which was a very darkened one, and then the other one, I think it was I can't remember the other one, but they'll be on display. I'll just be on display anyways. But the biggest thing when I saw that, I actually just smiled and I just looked at everyone else's photos. I just looked at everyone else's photo and just tried to gain new things, and I actually just did like a little celebration. I was like, this is actually quite sick. I've actually won something, and then I got like $5 out of that, which is completely fine. Like, at least I've won something, and I was actually quite happy. So if I didn't submit my photos until it's the first one, the second one I would never know if I actually won or not. And so the biggest thing I feel like for you is that you have to just enter in photo contests no matter what. And so the biggest thing is to never dwell on your own doubts, never doubt in your own skill, and never, make yourself never think about your failures. Think about those failures as a learning opportunity for you to actually get better at. I think you have to push your own skills towards the limit as a photographer, and also just be able to just learn about all these other, learn about your photos, learn about how you develop and how you photo edit, especially the photo editing part. I feel like that was probably the best thing for me. I actually grew as a good photo editor, and then I think that's possibly how I won. That's how I think, but it might be different from the judges as well. So if you want to enter in a photo contest, just look around your own area and see if there's actually a photo contest nearby your area, or either just, you know, far away from your area, so you can actually submit some photos, and then you can see if your photos are on display or either they've won or lost. And the biggest thing is to just learn from your own mistakes and just never compare yourself towards others, because I feel like most beginner photographers like to compare themselves a lot, especially when other photographers are very successful, especially that when they show their own success and stuff like that, which, you know, it's, you know, it can be a bit like, oh, my life is pretty bad, but you know what? Who gives a crap? They've got their own life, you got your life, make it better. Make your own photography better, and if you want to submit a photo contest, yet again, look at your area. Always look at your area, because let it be a fuel to improve on your own photos and never a setback. Let me know in the comments if you've actually submitted into a photo contest, and actually tell me your own story in terms of how you went, if you got in like either once or twice, how many times. Tell me your own stories, as I would like to see how you guys have gone in terms of how your photography journey from A to B. If you're struggling with camera settings as a photographer, I suggest to check out my free cheat sheet, which I'll link in down in the description below, as I think camera settings are also a big struggle for me, which I'll talk about in a later video. But I just wanted to get this one out of the way, because I feel like photo contests are a big thing for beginner photographers to actually learn from, as I think most photographers don't really give photo contests the biggest appreciation or the biggest, you know, thing to, you know, do. Like and subscribe for more videos about photography, and also comment down below your story about your photo contest as well. Alright.